Are we truly alone in the universe? Well, it would seem that the US government was actually searching for the same such answer for several years now. Yes, earlier this week it did come out in the New York Times that the Pentagon had actually been funding a group labeled as the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, whose main goal was none other than investigating unidentified flying objects, aka UFOs. Now I want to start this video out with a clip that I'm sure most of you came here to see, a video that shows a 2004 encounter near San Diego between two Navy FA-18F fighter jets and an unknown object. It was released by the Defense Department's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, along with the information that we shall discuss after the clip.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like look at that thing. It's rotating.
So let's break all this down a bit, because it is honestly really exciting. Although not all the information on the program has become public, there are still portions that are very much classified. But here is what we actually do know. This black money program was created back in 2007 and was largely funded per request of the then US Senator Henry Reid, the same senator who actually did witness the infamous Phoenix Lights. This Nevada-based Democrat both was the Senate Majority Leader at the time and was one known to hold an interest in space phenomena. Now, where this money ended up, I'm not super happy about, but at least it seems that they actually used it for what it was intended for. Most of the money would end up in an aerospace research company that was run by a billionaire entrepreneur and longtime friend of Senator Reid's, Robert Bigelow, who currently is working with NASA to produce expandable aircraft for humans to use in space. The program would go on for years, investigating reports on identified flying objects, all according to Defense Department officials, interviews with program participants, and records obtained by the New York Times. This program was run by military intelligence officer Louis Elizondo on the 5th floor of the Pentagon's C Ring. The Defense Department itself has never acknowledged the existence of this program, although it does state that it had been shut down in 2012. However, its backers say that while the Pentagon did end funding in the efforts at the time, the program does remain in existence. For the past 5 years, they say officials within the program have continued to investigate episodes brought to them by service members while also continuing to carry out their Defense Department duties. During CBS's 60 Minutes back in May, Mr. Bigelow said that he was absolutely convinced that aliens exist and that UFOs have indeed visited Earth. Working with Bigelow's Las Vegas-based company, the program produced documents that describe sightings of aircraft that seem to move at very high velocities with no visible signs of propulsion, or that hovering with no apparent means of lift. Officials from the program have also studied videos with encounters between unknown objects and American military aircraft, including the released footage that was shown in the beginning of this video. Now, this is not the first time that the US government has looked into UFO reports and activities. UFOs have been repeatedly investigated over the decades in the United States. This is also including the American military. Back in 1947, the Air Force began a series of studies that investigated over 12,000 claims of UFO sightings, before it was officially ended in 1969. This program, which included the somewhat well-known study codenamed Project Blue Books, started in 1952, concluded that most of the sightings reported involved either stars, clouds, conventional aircraft, or spy planes. However, 701 cases remained unexplained at the time. Which brings me into my own thoughts on all this discussion and release of information. Now, personally, I am a believer in there being life elsewhere in this vast and expanding universe, though when it comes to the topic of intelligent life currently visiting us here on Earth, I do need some sort of solid evidence in order to really support it, which it seems that this program and those before it did aim to obtain, and in the video clip from 2004 of the unidentified flying object, it was pretty compelling, though I would honestly like to see where the story goes for that one. Personally, I am a little frustrated with the term UFO as it's become a little bit taboo here, especially when it comes to the government and the media, since overall our society has strongly linked it to strictly meaning alien spacecraft, though the term clearly states what it defines: an object that is flying that you cannot identify at that current time, whether this be a strange cloud formation, a comet going overhead that you were not expecting, or even a type of aircraft made here on Earth that currently is just not public knowledge. And having programs like these really helps us filter out all these reports into the explanations that they deserve to be within. But those are just my thoughts on the matter. I would love to know what you guys think about all this. Do you support the idea of having a program look into these reports, or is the effort sort of just in vain? I would love to read all your answers and discussions down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video to help keep content flowing on this channel. But above all, remember, stay spooky.